Hi everybody, it's another show and it's Russ here and Grizzly. And
Hello there.
Hi Grizzly.
How are you doing today, Russ?
So, what's going on? Say again, sorry?
So how are you doing today? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. What about yourself? How are you?
Oh, doing good, doing good. So what do you think about these aliens being displayed in the Mexican
strange.
Congress? Uh-oh, technical difficulties. You hear me?
The aliens, the ones in Mexico.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Do you mean the ones that they found in Mexico?
Yeah, and Peru.
Well, I don't know what you think, but when I've looked at the images, it looks like somebody who's been learning to sculpture.
Paper mache?
Say again?
Paper mache?
To me, it looks like stone. It looks like somebody's been, carving away.
Well, they're supposed to
You
be
know what I mean?
thousands of years old.
Which means
They're mummified.
looks like stone. It looks like somebody's carved them out. Pardon?
They're mummified. I don't know what a dead alien looks like. I've never seen one before that's 1,000 years old. So, I don't know what they're supposed to look like. So I have no idea.
Well, you'd think they'd look more like if they were sort of like alien grey types, which they're supposed to be representing. You would think that they look more like an alien grey than a piece of sculpture. I mean, it looks like a piece of sculpture, a piece of stone. I've looked at clothes and you're thinking, are people really being serious when they put this out to us?
Well, why would the
Are
government
people
do
really
it?
being serious?
Well, why would they do it? Why would the Mexican government like ta-da! I mean, why would they do it?
Well, why do
They did
any government still things what they do?
X-rays and they showed bones. Right, but I thought they did X-rays and they show bones and stuff inside there and skeletons, and so is that the truth too, or is that something else?
All as I can say is I don't know what you've been looking at, but it must be different to what I've been looking at, because I've just looked at two pictures, two photographs, which have been shown, I think, on most platforms on the internet and on television, and it just looks like somebody's chiseled away at stone, trying to make a representation. That's all. I mean, I can't see anything amazing about and I'd say being carved and not carved good as well. Sort of like a child's done it. As for why would
But
the government do
that's my.
anything? Why
What
do governments
are
do
they
things?
supposed to look
I mean,
like?
we could
Are
sit
they
down and talk about what
are they
governments
supposed to
do.
look like the ones out of the movies? That's my question, right?
Well, I think
Can you hear
if
me
you look
okay?
at them, you can see that that's where they're going. Yeah, I would say that it's somebody's representation, but sort of like I don't know.
So you
I
don't think they're
mean,
real?
it's not a really good example, is it, of an alien? I don't think it is anyway. You know, as my teacher used to say, you know, every year you you get a report every year from school. All as I would say what my teachers used to say to me: must do better.
Must do better.
You know,
Well, how can you explain the
absolutely
X-rays?
abysmal. If this is a kind of if this is a kind of journalism that's coming through, you know, reporting on stuff like that, you know, sort of like, wow, you know.
But how do you explain the X-rays? So they're fabricated too?
Well, I haven't seen the X-rays. I've only, I think I've seen um, two images. You know, sort of. Say again, sorry, Chris.
Yeah, are you having problems hearing me?
I'll be frozen. You're frozen.
Oh, that's strange. I think he's freezing up there, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully Russ comes back to the show, but I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what aliens look like. I don't know what they don't, I mean, besides the movies, E.T., his little finger. Remember when it glows? E.T. phone home, Reese's Pieces. Here comes them. So, but I don't know what they look like. So, yeah, Brian, I mean, what are they? I mean, are they made out of paper mache? I mean, they're supposed to be mummified. So, that's the thing. That's my question. Brian says, I was just watching this about another channel.
Hi, Brian.
Supposedly DNA was done and 30% was unknown. That's what I'm saying. There evidently there is some credence to some of this. Evidently, they are saying that these are supposedly be real species of some sort. So, are you there, Russ? I think Russ froze on us again. But yeah, Brian, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Are they feeding us a lot of BS or what's going on? So I don't know. So I don't know what to think. I mean, I don't know what an alien looks like, Brian. I really don't. That's what's strange. So maybe it is an alien. I don't know. But, he says it looks like stones. I say it looks like a paper mache. I mean, they are very happy about it. Hey, Tammy Johnson, welcome to the show. But they're very excited. I mean, they brought them in glass cases and covered up. These creatures, alleged creatures. So what are they? Are they fabricated? Is it another hocus pocus, smoke and mirrors to distract us or something? Because when this was unfolding, ladies and gentlemen, I was live on the show. I thought we was in World War III because my phones and stuff and messages was going off the hook. I thought we got into a war with somebody. Is well, who I thought we got in a war with. But I had no idea what was going on. And everybody's like, Grizzly, 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 Grizzly. But I don't know. But they say they did X-rays. If it's chicken or stone or anything else, seems like they'd come back. Does it seem crazy? It looks like E.T., the original, popped up in 2018. So 2018 or 2017, you're right, in Peru. That's when they originally popped up, and they kept them as a secret. So, and that was the thing. They hushed, and I don't know what made them come out now. So And the other day, I was sitting there watching TV, eating dinner, and they're like, aliens are here, but they're no threat. And I'm like, what did you say? They just announced aliens are here, but they are not a threat. And I'm like, where have y'all been? I mean, we've been watching Steven Spielberg movies and everything else for years, and horror movies. And you're trying to tell us they're here, but they're not a threat. And I'm like, what in the world? You're just now making that announcement. I mean, we already knew that. So, I mean, and so, yeah, NASA made an announcement too that they know the aliens do exist. And one of the scientists said that you are a fool if you don't think they don't exist. And I'm like, no. So what does that tell you? So something is going on out in this world, ladies and gentlemen, which I have no idea what's going on. Welcome back, Russ. I'm glad to have you. Or you got everything working now? Can you hear me? But yeah, I have no idea, Brian and Tammy. Very interesting. Poor Russ keeps getting bumped. But it's just like they're telling us information that, let me bring my mic a little closer. I feel like I'm screaming. But they're telling us information about these aliens, I guess, right? You know, that we know that they're out there, you know, and they're just like, yeah,
the aliens do exist. They're no threat, no alarm, everything.
and I'm like, you know, people are really that ignorant, right? That we're sitting there allowing this garbage being told to us. And we're not demanding answers. I mean, because they know, ladies and gentlemen, it's like somebody once told me, have you ever squeezed toothpaste and tried to put it back in the toothpaste tube? Yes, I have. I have actually done that. Squeezed too much out when I was younger and try to like put it back in there. It's too late. Once you squeezed it, you can't put it back in the tube. So you might as well use it, right? So is that a case with these aliens, Russ? Is they can't put a lid on it now and they're just got to come, well, there he went again. Well, you know he's fuming right now. Poor Russ, I know he's fuming. But is that another case to where, you know, it's just like, it's out of the bag. We might as well just slowly leak his stuff out and tell the world that it's true. I mean, what's your all's thoughts about it? You know, I mean, I know the aliens kind of look quirky, but I don't know what ET looks like. I couldn't tell you if it's real or not. I mean, I'm not down there poking it or probing it. So it was supposed to be mummified, right? So who knows? Interesting, though, that NASA's speaking up. Governments are speaking up. I know, Tammy. That's my point. I know. We all know, right? But why now? What's the real reason? That is my exact point. Everybody says something is about to happen. They've been saying this for the past year or 2 years, that something is about to come unfolded. So, hello, Roger. Welcome to the show. But that's the point. Why now? Why is everybody coming forward and saying, why now everybody is going to the moon? Why now are they displaying the bodies from all these years? Why now are people making statements, government and NASA? And why now are people broadcasting on the national news in America that aliens are real, they're no national threat? You know, I mean, come on. Yes, I think, Brian, that something is, they're distracting us for something. Absolutely. And Tammy Johnson, I agree. Something's messed up. What's your take, Russ?
I would totally agree with you, but I think what we need is better evidence and dodgy images from Mexico, because, you know, I don't think, how could you take that serious just by looking at it to me, it looks like that's sculpture, stone sculpture. There's nothing there exciting, and I just when I saw it, I just thought to myself, what next? What next? But one of the things we're talking about the moon again, right? Have you heard who else wants to go to the moon now?
No, I've been so focused on these aliens.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Australia.
Oh, come on. We're going to name it
Australia.
Operation Kangaroo. Brian says now they're announcing that they're analyzing eggs from the bodies from the aliens.
Well, yeah. Well, jumping from one planet. Yeah. That's a good one, is that kangaroo hopping from one planet to another.
So I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen.
But,
I can't wrap my head around it. So I really don't. I mean, it's not making any sense. I mean,
there's no reason why. Yeah, I think, to be honest, Australia could do it because they've got the technology, and I think they've still got their space program, which we used to have running alongside theirs, if you remember.
No, I didn't know they even had
England.
I didn't know they had a space program.
Oh, you got to be joking. Woman,
no.
But famous.
For a boomerang, yes.
But funnily enough, I was looking. Say again.
For a boomerang, yes. I know they're known for boomerangs.
No, Woomera. That's where that's where the facility was. Their rocket facility. But talking about the Americans going back to the moon, have you seen how they're getting there? Have you seen the actual rocket?
No, I have not.
I watched a program last night, and it is the parts are composed of parts from, and the rocket, the engine itself is made in Russia.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Half our cars are not made in America. I mean, all the parts are made in Tokyo, China, Japan, Mexico, Korea. None of our parts are made in America anymore. Our cars are, helium-3. There we go. No, there we go. It's right. So that's what I'm saying, Brian. A rocket from Australia probably looks like a boomerang, so make sure it comes back. You're going to have a lot of people hate me on that comment, Brian. That's bad. That's bad.
Oh, dear.
But that's funny. But I mean, why? I don't. Okay, so we got the race to the moon. We got people announcing that aliens are real. We got aliens coming out of the woodwork now. We got DNA sample. Now we got eggs harvested. We got X-rays of those creatures that being displayed in Congress and Mexican Congress. I mean, you really think that they're going to fabricate these creatures and bring them to Congress? I mean, did we lose you again, Russ?
I'm still here.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Poor Roger.
Yeah. One of the strange things is that, we're getting the news about 1,000-year-old aliens in Mexico. But why aren't we dealing with like the reports that are coming in now, from people around the world about people seeing UFOs, right? And some call them spacecraft, spaceships, etc. And the people that are flying in them, yeah, what
You
what
know
they
what I
call,
think? I
so-called
think
aliens. How comes we're not talking about what is going on today?
I think the reason why is I think that we cannot differentiate the reals from the aliens from our technology. I think that's why, because I think we back reverse engineered some of the technology, in my opinion. And I think that's why they're not taking reports, because they don't want to say in public we have it. So that's where I think.
Yeah.
So
I'm just waiting for somebody to come on the next show and talk about what they saw quite a few years ago. And the story is, so far, what I've been told, is amazing. And it's quite similar to other stories that people have told me over the years about when they've seen a UFO and they'd reported it, they've had a knock on the door and they've been told, do not talk about this.
right.
Yeah. You have not got to talk to, you haven't got to talk to anybody whatsoever about what you have seen. And to the point where it has had families terrified for years, more or less like they've been threatened. Now, that is absolutely, hello, that is absolutely, it's terrifying. I don't know what's more terrifying, the fact that you've seen something out of this world and the powers that be, the G-men and the cohorts that work for them, are actually telling you that you can't tell anybody about what you've seen.
No, and I
I
totally
find
agree
it
with
sort
you.
of like,
That's actually going on. Yes, I do agree with you.
I've
Yes.
come across it myself. I took a video of 5 flying saucers flew past, and I caught the back end, and there were a jet fighter, and it banked, and it let these electronic countermeasures off, or chaff they call it, which is really hot pieces of metal that fly out of the back to make it look like the exhaust. So if anything's locked onto it, right, yeah, when it banks and it turns and they let it off, the missiles will go to that chaff what they've let off red hot in the sky and miss the actual aircraft.
Right.
Now the thing is, the police came and they said, we've been to the TV studio and they've told us about this, and we're telling you, don't worry about anything. All as it was the back end of the aircraft letting these electronic countermeasures off. I said, well, I know that. I said, but what I'm saying is, I was filming these 5 flying saucers when that happened. Well, we can't see any flying saucers. So all as we can say is, what you filmed is this. And I says, well, the thing is, why did it let, oh, well, it was on exercise. And then I found out something later on that they'd stopped doing this exercise sometime before because the government said that it was using too much money on, because it costs a lot of money to let one of these things off. So they were trying to keep the cost down. So the MOD were told, you know, the RAF were told, you don't use these anymore, you know, sort of like only for real if, you know, in conflict, right? So I thought to myself, that's funny. So why did that pilot let one off then? Why did that pilot let electronic countermeasures off when they'd been told that they hadn't got to? Only if it was for the real thing, that something had locked onto them, and only that reason, you know, would suffice for them to use the electronic countermeasures.
So
But
that would tell me,
we're not getting into that.
Now that would tell me, if I was a fighter pilot and something locked onto me, that means that they were using old technology. Wouldn't you assume that? Because, I mean, how would they know what kind of technology that they would trace to know that they were being locked onto?
Because in your cockpit, apparently, there's a thing that tells you that you're being locked onto.
By
you know,
frequency.
from other, yeah, and it tells
But
you.
how do you know
that,
a UFO is locking onto you? What I'm saying is that wouldn't it be a non-UFO? Because if I'm an alien from another galaxy, right, how would they know what I'm using to lock on that aircraft? Unless they had the technology.
Well, if they're back in, if we've been back engineering,
there you go.
Yeah, one of the things is you must have the technology to tell you if a UFO is locked onto you or not. You know what I mean? So
now that would
make sense. Yeah. Because if not, none of it makes any sense. If you're back engineering and that is something, if the UFOs are weaponized, you know, then you would definitely look for that piece of technology to tell you if it were weaponized and it were pointing at you and it were locked on, you'd want that technology, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You definitely want that technology, back engineering. So, you know, and that actually happened to me. And I've still got the video footage of it, of the actual the jet fighter letting the electronic countermeasures off. You know, it must be 20-year-old now, at least. You know?
Right.
So, like I say, so I'm just waiting now for confirmation about this story. And I spoke to a gentleman who, on his farm up past Whitby in North Yorkshire, a flying saucer came down, and he were a stonemason, so he did a carving of what these creatures look like. Yeah, because he said he wasn't an artist, he wasn't good with pen and paper, but I can show you what one looked like. This is and he chiseled it out, and I have never seen anything look as horrifying in my life as these aliens, what he'd carved, right? And frightening, call it what you will. And he said that an officer in the army because the army turned up and told him in a nasty way as a child, if you talk about this, your mum and dad will be killed.
Wow.
Right? Can you imagine what that young child must have thought? You know, the damage what something like that to a young child was just unbelievable. How many more people are going through this? How many more people have had this happen to them where they've been told, you know, keep your mouth shut. Don't talk about this. You know, it's just unbelievable. But there's more and more people now coming forward. And if anybody's listening out there and have spoken to me before, want to come on the show and actually talk about this, you know, if you've had the same thing happen. I mean, one of the people that I've spoken to said now, you know, for God's sake, this is 40 years ago, you know, so surely I'll be allowed to talk about what happened 40 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I'm hoping, yeah, you know, that they should be able to speak about this and about other things that have happened, you know, about UFOs landing and seeing aliens, you know, because we need to know. The more people that know, the better. And the more people that listen to other people talking about what's happened, you know, that they've seen aliens, etc., the better it is for everybody. Because then it's like a group, isn't it? You know, sort of like if we stand together, you know what I mean? Collectively, we all stand together and say, look, I've told you what's happened to me. This person's told you what's happened to them. He's told what's happened to him. So you can hear, this is what's going on, you know, and we must, you know, we must surely, you know, sort of like somebody must take this serious, you know, and, you know, let's get this little club together. The people, you know, we're not going to shut up. We're not going to be told any longer you can't talk about it. You know, people have a right to talk about it. You know, people have got a right to talk about what they've seen, what's happened, you know, and what's happened to them. And whether that's not only if they've seen anything, if they've been abducted also, you know,
Yeah.
because this is still another, you know,
And you're right. And you and us create a safe platform to where people can come to and have an opportunity to tell their side of their story and get things off their chest. And I think that's very important, where they're not going to be crucified or ridiculed and made fun of.
No.
So
no. But if anybody'd like to come on, you know, sort of like and talk about what's happened to them, you know, sort of like you're quite welcome. I listen to anybody, you know, anybody. If somebody,
because
wants
ladies and
to
gentlemen,
talk,
you can actually hide your face. Did you see? Oh, you can't see my camera, can you? It's just you. But we can actually hide your face. You know, we can click a button and we can hide your face on the show when you come on, where you don't have to show your picture if you don't want to show your face. I mean, there's ways we can help you out. So, but yeah, and I agree with you, Russ, because there's a lot of people out there that things have happened to, they won't come forward because of that.
I will totally agree. I would totally agree. I mean, I've worked on a case now for over 30 years, and trying to make sense of what really happened, you know, sort of like really, really annoys me. You know, it really does. You know, because yeah, what we need is we need the people that have actually had things happen to them. You know, sort of like come on and talk to us. You
Right.
know, freely, openly, without any ridicule. You know, and to openly talk about what's gone on.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
and I think it's time for people to get things off their chest too. So, Jim
definitely.
Camera at Dawn, he says in July 1952, for about 2 weeks, UFOs flew over the White House and jets were deployed to give chase. Many photos were taken. Most of the general public haven't heard of it. And he's right. I remember that incident being talked about. And
Mm.
that was covered up too.
Yeah, it would seem that there's been a lot of things that have actually happened, and there's we had something. It used to be called oh heck, what do they call it now? Um, that they could basically be the the government had tell the media that they couldn't report on whatever it was, and you know, so therefore a lot of things were sort of like shoved under the carpet, you know, and a lot of it was to do with UFOs. You know that you know they wasn't able to report on some of these things that had actually happened, reports of sightings and reports of sightings and reports of you know aliens abducting people. That's the other thing, because one of the things that I've been looking into when I was writing a book about an incident, and something came up bizarrely enough. It came up and it said on this night that there'd been a lot of people taken to hospital, and they were disorientated. They didn't know where they were. They'd had problems with their eyesight. You know, they couldn't see that well. Vomiting, being sick, and what have you. And it were after a so-called UFO incident had happened. Now, what I tried doing, I tried trying to find out about this, and I tried to get the hospital records about people that had been taken to accident and emergency, and I'm still waiting. And that was 2 years ago. I requested some information, and I'm still waiting now. So sometimes, you know, like if you're researching, you know, area, sometimes, you know, you can be researching, and it takes forever. And sometimes you get stonewalled, and you know for certain that you're not going to get anything back. You know, so
Right.
the next step is, instead of doing it, I the next step is that a more formal written letter rather than an email, if you know what I mean. So a lot of it is just, you know, like doing one thing after another. You know, trying to find out, you know, sort of like just what's gone on there. You know.
No, absolute truth. And I think a lot of people conclude, or not conclude, but conclude and misinform and pollute information when it comes to medical records and so forth, because they don't want the public to know that people do get abducted and do get, things
Yeah,
happen to them. I'm not going to say on the air what does happen to some people because it's graphic. And people don't want to believe them because, they think they're psychiatric people and they're mental. And, I'm not saying that, hey, no, thanks again. But I'm not saying that, mental illness is not an issue in this world. And it is. But, when you have people saying the same story across the globe, that gives me some validity and some teeth to sink something to bite into, saying that there is a phenomenon that's happening in this world.
that's right. Yeah, I mean, they can't just put everything down to people with mental illness. Although I must admit, just lately, I've come across one or two people in this subject, and I wonder how comes they're not in sort of like in straitjackets in a loony bin. I'll be honest with you. Um, some of the things what they've said and done causing trouble and what have you. I would say all us are doing is they're giving sort of like they're giving people a good example of you know why people shouldn't get involved in this subject because there's some crazies. I'm not saying everybody, obviously, but when you start listening to people and when they start causing
Well, and I agree with that statement, Russ. Another thing that I don't like about a lot of these fields and topics, whether it's UFOlogy, Bigfootery, cryptids, the paranormal fields or whatnot, is that people that doesn't have anything associated with the field at all, and they make up stories just to try to be somebody, right? And fabricate things. Those are the ones that shouldn't be in the community. And then you have the trolls on top of it that, if you don't believe, that's fine. I respect you if you don't believe in aliens and ghosts and Bigfoot and Dogman and whatever cryptid or monster or whatever that's alive. I'm okay with that. But don't tell somebody else that actually witnessed something or experienced or had an encounter or went through a traumatic experience with something that you're full of crap and you're wrong and you're in your mental. That's what people don't want to hear, because other people see that and they're like, well, Grizzly came forward, and he told his story, and man, they just smeared him and mocked him. I'm not going to tell my story. I mean, look at the way they treated him. No, and that affects a lot of people, and that's why I said it's very important to create a safe spot and a place for people to come to where they can speak freely and be like, hey, you know what? I am one of those ones. This happened to me. And I tell people, you are not alone. And I tell this to people a lot of times, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. People reach out to me. I can't sleep because I've had these nightmares. And I tell them, you're not alone. And Brian Barber, and I hate to tell you this, but your name got brought up at a cryptid conference. Because, and listen to this, Russ, this is funny. Somebody with this guest speaker. I had to plug this in for Brian. So hopefully Brian's paying attention. The guest speaker was talking about Bigfoot scat. And somebody raised their hand and was like, you got it in the freezer? And he said, yes. And the whole room lost it. And he had no idea why everybody was laughing at him. And everybody was like, Barber, too bad Brian Barber's not here to sweeten low box. And then this guy had no idea why the whole room was cracking up laughing. So, Brian, I just want to let you know your name is well known in the Bigfoot community. But I had to let you know because people were sending me messages and sending me snapshots of this guy talking. And I was like, this poor guy, he had no idea why everybody was laughing at him. But anyways, but yeah.
And he's got an hand in the fridge. He's got an hand in the freezer of a Bigfoot.
No, Bigfoot poo. Yeah. So during this conference, somebody in the audience, while this guy was talking about, Bigfoot, somebody raised their hand because he was talking about Bigfoot scat. And they were like, do you have any scat? And the guy was like, yeah, in the freezer. And the whole audience lost it because they were thinking about Brian Barber. So, yeah, and his story. So, and everybody were texting me and sending me pictures, and they were like rolling. And they were like, too bad Barber was not here to hear this. So I just wanted to let you know, Brian, that you are like getting around worldwide very well. So, but yeah. But once again, it's creating that safe place. And I see this in Facebook groups and a lot of Facebook groups. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a member, admin, moderator in a lot of Facebook groups. And I am probably a member of a little over 1,137 Facebook groups alone, just on Facebook groups. Of different types of cryptids and ghosts and paranormal, Bigfoot and dogmen. So I get a lot of information and I know a lot of people, but I also see how people get treated. And, and I stay in the background and I keep my mouth shut because it's horrible. Because I know people that I met over the years that I talked to, that I actually brought them, I say, let's call it to the light. And they're like, I had no idea that I was not alone, that I was not the only one that had these encounters or these experiences. And they start opening up and they start learning about other people. And I introduce them to the communities where they should be and to other people that have the same encounters. And then they start getting off medicine. Their depression goes away. Their anxiety goes away. Their lifestyle changes. And so you see what I'm getting at? So their mental state changes as well because they suppress everything. And it affects them mentally. In their health wise as well too, because they think to themselves, am I hallucinating? Did I actually go through that event? Was it a lucid dream? Was that alien real? Was that cryptid real? Was it, whether it's a Bigfoot or a dog man? Did I hear what I actually hear? Did I feel what I feel? But how can you explain certain things when people don't have any experiences at all? But they're telling you their encounter, and you're like, yes, that's what happens. That's what people are reporting.
Yeah.
And they look at you, really? And once again, it goes back to, like you said, Russ, creating that safe environment. That is so important for people. So, yes.
Oh, yeah. I must admit, I must have 500 requests to join groups, but I don't join many groups for simple reason. When I seem to go on, I get attacked. I can have people on my friends list and I might put something up in a group what they're in, and it's almost like they're just in wait for me to put a message up. And then no matter what I'm going to put up, it's almost like they're waiting, ready to pounce. Yeah. And I've noticed that. I've noticed that over the years that there's what I do now, I just delete that person. I delete what they've put, delete the person, and I come out of the group. And, you know, sort of like, I know that some of the groups, they ask you these questions like, do you adhere to these terms and conditions? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know why you put that up, because I do. But obviously, some people in that group don't, because as soon as you join and you go on, like I say, somebody seems to want to pounce. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Right.
like
And I agree with you. And a lot of people ask me, they're like, well, why do you have in some groups so many mods and admins? And it's because, and just like No says, you know, Russ, forget the trolls. We don't allow them, right? If somebody makes a comment and you make an emoji, you are banned. And when I mean banned from my groups, and I say groups, which is plural, not only that, I'll reach out to other groups and I'll have you removed from every other groups that I can touch too. So you're not just removed from one group, you are removed from many groups.
Yeah.
So, you know, skip it. You know, if you don't like their photographs, and some photographs I may not agree with, right? I understand that, you know, but you don't understand how these things work with technology. So with that being said, just scroll. Don't make a comment. Don't whatever. But
that's the easiest way.
Yeah, but if you're going to have rules, enforce them. That's why we have laws on the books to enforce the laws within our country and within our state and county and municipalities. If you break a traffic infraction, you get a ticket, you know, a citation. So, and I challenge each admin and moderator in Facebook and in their groups to monitor that a little more heavily. And if you don't have time because of our busy schedules, then add a few more people that you can kind of trust to help monitor your thing, or do like I do, you know, put it on there where everything that gets posted has to be pre-approved. And once you know the people, then you can pre-approve their posts by themselves. And, you know, you do that, you know, to protect the people in the group. That's what you do that for. You don't do that to be a bully, to have control over people. That's not what it's for, ladies and gentlemen. It's not for control of the group. You do that to have, you know, safety in the group, to keep the trolls and the bullies out of the group. That way, when that guy or that person or member wants to make a smart aleck comment about somebody, nobody sees it but the person of the administrator team. We're like, nope, guess what? You are blocked. That comment's deleted before anybody else sees it. And that person never knows that comment or statement was ever made, and their life goes on happy as can be.
Yeah.
So,
yes. Oh, yeah, I would totally agree with you, because, like I said, I've got outstanding 500 groups where people have asked me to join, and I haven't, because the thing is, I don't want people, you know, sort of like causing trouble, causing the group problems because of me. You know what I mean? I don't want to join a group and then, you know, sort of like have all this go on. I just say I might as well not bother. I might as well not bother from groups. You know what I mean? And just do my own thing.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
And I'll show you, ladies and gentlemen, right now. I went through some of my Facebook groups, and I actually deleted, or not deleted, I removed myself from some of them because I didn't agree with some of their. I just didn't agree with some of them. And how many did I say I was a member of? Roughly.
Say again, sorry.
How many members did I say I was a member of the Facebook groups? I said 1,100, right?
1,100, yeah.
Right, I was wrong.
No.
Oh, you can't see it because of my green screen.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me go back to my groups. Hold up. Let me go back to my groups. Now, let me get my 1,895, if I can get it in front of the camera.
How do you have
1,895
time?
groups.
God, how
So
can
that's
you have...
how many that's how many groups I'm a member of, ladies and gentlemen, right there. It says it. Now I got it from the camera. Okay.
And do you go on those every
So a lot of the groups
day?
let me stream live in their Facebook groups, and then I appreciate that. So and some of those groups I'm an admin or moderators of my own, and I'm an admin or moderators of other groups. But that's a lot of Facebook groups, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
So when I do my shows, yeah, Roger, I do get a lot of requests. But that's what I'm trying to say. When I say coast to coast worldwide, not counting Twitter or X or whatever it's called, YouTube, True Social, Reddit, Instagram, all the other major platforms we're on too, that I broadcast on, not counting the audios. But that's what I'm going. That's what I'm trying to explain. Is that I see stuff in these groups and it's sad, right? And I don't change my name. I'm in these groups as Grizzly Chris. I don't go into other groups and other false names or whatever. So when I'm in the group, but I sit there and I watch and I monitor and it's sad. And Brian Barber's 1,200. So yeah, Jim Cameron Downs 50. So yeah. And that Brian, I just trimmed mine down about 170. About 170, 180 I just got rid of because I didn't appreciate how they treated people and whatnot. And I'm not one of these ones where, if you join my group, you have to believe in this only, right? I'll be a member of your group because I want to see why you think that, why you understand that. Because people may only have that experience, but you also have the other side that has the other experiences too. So you got different groups that believe in different things, which is fine, which I don't have a problem with that. Tammy Johnson, he needs a lot of moderators for all the groups. I catch trolls all the time. Yeah, you're right. But it's just it's sad how people treat everybody. And today in these worlds, I call them keyboard warriors, and because they're brave behind the keyboard, right? And I had a person last year. Oh, he got kicked off. I had a person last year that wanted to debate me on a personal message on Messenger, and I'm like, let's take this onto a show and let's have a conversation. The person would never do it. I'm like, why? Why won't you come on my show and have this conversation instead of doing it behind a screen and in a message? And I'm like, don't you want the world to know where you stand and how you treat people? Are you embarrassed because you can treat people this way and you don't want to say how you treat people on air? Why be somebody different behind a screen? Because does that make you feel better? And that's sad. So, yeah, Tammy, thank you. Yeah, computer Rambos. I agree, Roger. And it's sad because people are miserable. And I can see Russ going to groups, and as soon as Russ posts his pictures of his UFOs, it's all over. Yeah, I can see him jumping on you. So yes.
I've had that, Chris, where I put something up and I'd had this person sort of like
Oh, he's coming in and out again. I wonder if he said he has good weather. So yeah, misery loves company, you know, and it's really sad that they're like that. I get real offended. And let me tell you something. When I wore a uniform, and I never did like bullies. I never did like domestic violence. That's one of the things, and I really things that bothered me a lot was crimes against children. That was another thing that always bothered me as well. So I had a real rough time with stuff like that. You know, it's very easy to walk away, and like I tell people, you know, when people come to me and you know, and it's like, well, that picture doesn't look like this and that, and you know, and people complain about somebody's photo or video, and I tell them, you know, just scroll. You know, you weren't there. I wasn't there. And ladies and gentlemen, I told you all before that, I mean, look at me and my camera and look at some of the pictures that I've taken and look what happened to me being out in the woods recently. That's never happened to me before. So, I mean, how can you explain that? You know, and, you know, we hear this from, you know, people all the time. And, you know, it makes you wonder, you know, what actually is going on. So, yeah, it really does. So it's very interesting. I don't want to ever doubt people, but, you know, but with AIG, CGI and stuff like that that's out there, do people fake stuff and you know want to you know dilute things and cause mischief, mayhem out there for the real people? Absolutely. You know, people want to be that $1 million shot. Absolutely. You know, people want to be that the 15 minutes of fame. I'm not saying they don't. So, but you know, everybody can be in the same boat and get to the same place, but we got to help each other and be respectful. And that's the only thing I ever asked for, Russ, is doing it that way. And a lot of people lack that courtesy and knowledge. And that's where I get upset about. So
Yeah. Oh, I've been on. I've you know put a message up, and one person, I'm not joking, it was like a paragraph of insults. You know, sort of like just unbelievable, and about some video footage. And I put up, you need to get out and video some UFOs yourself, and then you might be able to give me some advice on how to film, right? And the moderator, right, yeah, moderated me instead of the person that had just put comments, and I was the one that got penalized. How does that work?
yeah, so I notice in some groups that people have friendships, right? And I love
Yeah,
friendships,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and ladies and gentlemen, I adore friendships and I adore relationships. But when it comes to standing up for somebody, I will. And I don't take sides, right? What is
It's
right is
called
right,
bullying.
and what is wrong is wrong. It is, and you're absolutely right. And that's very, very important to know. And I did this on a particular subject not too long ago with somebody, and they're like, "You never done that before," and I was like, "Because this is where I stand." And they were like, "You know, when Grizzly makes a call, he never changes his mind," and I don't. And I don't flip flop on a subject. Now, if I stand on a subject, and unless you provide me evidence, and I'm saying not hearsay, I'm talking evidence that shows me otherwise, then I can probably change my mind. But if I see somebody, you know, an admin or a moderator in a group, you know, taking up for somebody that's bullying somebody, you know, then I will withdraw myself from that group, because that person, friend or not, should be like, hey, on the sideline, hey, this is my group. I know we're friends, but don't do that. He's a well-respected guy. Whether you agree with his evidence or his photos or videos or not, let it be, right? This is a group where people come and share stuff and their stories and their encounters. That's the way it should be. But unfortunately, in this world, that's not what's going on. And that's where I have a problem with things. And that's just my opinion. And you're right, Tammy. We don't need people discouraging others of their sightings because they will not come forward. And I see this a lot. And I've got people right now, Russ, that has, and just like you have, that have really good encounters or really good stories. And when I say stories, I'm not saying things that are made up or fictionalized or whatnot. I'm just saying really good encounters. They'll tell us, but they won't come on and tell anybody else because of what they've seen in the social media platforms. They're like, no, I'm not going to go through that. I don't want to be ridiculed. I don't want to be mocked or anything like that. And it's really sad. So, yeah.
I would agree. And I mean, the thing is, and this hasn't only happened once with me personally. It's happened quite a number of times. This is why I don't bother usually with group. I'd rather not, and it's no insult saying I'd rather not be part of the group. It's just that it's less hassle because sometimes I might join just to join, and I don't bother putting anything up because the minute I start putting things up, and that's it. It's like all the loonies are out. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, did I switch that loony light on? You know what I mean? To say that I've just come on this group. You know what I mean? Because all the loonies, sort of like start. You think you know more than me. You think you're the only person that's been abducted. You think, and I'm saying, well, as it happens, listen to what you're saying. Yeah, I do. Because you're not right in the head. You know what I mean? Sort of like you started off already attacking somebody. You know what I mean? You've already started with an attack.
Right.
I mean, and so that tells you then, not how you doing, us, sort of like seeing some of your videos, not sure about them, fair enough. But as soon as you think you know more than me, you think you're the only person that's abducted, oh, okay, then that's the loony light must have gone on because there's already one. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I've been doing this for 30 years. I don't need it. You know what I mean? It's like, you think you know it all.
Well, not only
like
that, you've been in the news, you've been in the media, so people are jealous, right? So and they want to
believe me, I have been
that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but there's a lot you don't realize. You don't realize just how much one or two people in this subject have gone to, right? Yeah, to stop me being on television over here in the UK and in America.
Oh yeah, I do believe it.
I've tried everything, right? Yeah, and sort of like, and the thing is that what they can't understand is I'm not bothered about being on telly because I'm not well enough, so to mess about filming for a few hours and just standing and filming, being wrapped in pain and sort of like, and you can't sit down sometimes because you're on location. And I'd rather not. I'd rather be in my own studio or out, where I can sit down and film and do what I want. You know what I mean? Rather than mess about, sort of like, You know, can you do that again? Can we? No, I don't think so. You know, and it's no disrespect to anybody, because there's some nice people out there with good intentions that are definitely trying to get this information out there about people being abducted and people seeing UFOs. And it's no disrespect to them. Although I must say that over the past few months, I might not have been as nice to people when I've been contacted, because of a lot of things that were going on, and people wanting to make video, you know, well, make documentaries and stuff, and sort of like, you know, like being on medication, you just don't feel like doing anything. You know what I mean? So, but there's some nice people out there trying to get other. You know, I try to put other people forward on videos and get people on the show and sort of like get people to talk about what's happened to them, if you know what I mean. But I haven't done that for a few weeks, which is what I'm going to be doing shortly,
Well, that's good.
because of some damn good information what people have been telling me about abductions and stuff, you know, and about dogmen.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, there's a chap who I did an interview with, and I think you'd like to have a natter with him. I think we'll have to, when we do, you know, the next show, bring him on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
About this dogman, what he saw.
Yeah, that'd be
Maybe
great.
next, I'll see if he's okay for next Saturday.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And real nice guy, real nice guy.
Yeah, I would enjoy that.
So that, yeah, I'll sort that out for next week.
Yeah, I would really enjoy that a lot.
Sounds good. Sounds good as that. But yeah, but like sometimes when there's a lot of negativeness going around, sometimes you become negative, and I've got to think positive, because that's the problem. Because if people around you are negative and they're putting across that negative energy, you know, you've just got to pull back and think, no, positive. Let's think positive.
Yeah, you really need to, and that's very important. And I tell people, you know, when your friends, family members come to you and they want to talk to you about a subject, even though that you may not agree with them and you may think they're half off their rocker, listen to them anyways, right? And try to retain yourself, because that can really make a difference to them. And it can really change their mental state as well. So
that's right, because if they're going through a bad time, an hard time, and people not listening, sometimes that one person just listening helps. You know, sometimes you just need somebody, a bit of reassurance and what have you, and a friend, don't you? You know, sort of like even if it's just to listen to you, you know, and make you know, just make your day feel a little bit better that somebody's listening to you.
Yeah, absolutely, you know? and that goes a long way. It really does.
So I've got two things for next shows. Person that's been told about not to talk about UFOs and aliens that they saw, and the other one is the chap that has seen the dogman.
Oh, that'd be good.
And it was back in the day. Back in the day, I think it were in it were either in 1980 or 1990. You know, And like I say, I will try to get that sorted out for next week, Grizzly.
Sounds good. Sounds real good.
So, what have you planned for tonight? Is it sausage and?
No, it's actually hamburger helper. So then the hamburger helper. So that's what I'm eating tonight. Hamburger helper. It's a hamburger and it's a little kit over here. I don't know if you ever had that. I don't know. They even had that in UK.
What's a helper?
It's a little kit, and it's got noodles, and it's like you can like have like one box could be like lasagna, another box could be like I don't know, beef stroganoff. But you take your hamburger, your ground hamburger, and it makes different meals, different flavor meals. And that's why it's called hamburger helper. Just like the electric cars. Hello, Lala. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Right.
Poor Russ. Look at him. While you drink your tea and eat your biscuits, right? So yes. So I know, Brian. Thank you. I gotta have my hamburger helper over once in a while. Hey, I'm redneck. I ain't gonna lie. I still live in the sticks. There ain't nothing wrong with hamburger helper. Look at Russ. Russ is gonna Google hamburger helper. I promise you. So
I've just seen what he's put. I was just reading what Brian put. Oh,
I love throwing off is some good stuff at hamburger. So it's a quick, easy meal. It doesn't take hardly no time to fix, and it's good. And I don't know if it's good for you. So Brian quit with the butter bread. Now you really make me. Hey Liz, welcome to the show there. But yeah, so that's what I'm having for dinner tonight. So little sausages wrapped in croissant. We call those little piggies in America.
Oh, dear.
What do you call them over there in the UK?
Piggies.
Is that what you call them, piggies?
What is it?
It's a little sausage wrapped in a croissant.
Sausages wrapped in.
Yeah, I see you, Eric. Yeah, that's a piggy in a blanket.
Right. We call them.
What?
No, pigs in blanket is a what do you call it? A sausage wrapped in bacon. That's
what
a pig
the
in a
hell
blanket.
Is that? That ain't no pig in a blanket. Thank you, Roger.
Yeah,
Piggies in a blanket.
It's a sausage wrapped in bacon.
Well, I tell you what, I hate to go over there and eat because everything I order off the damn menu, I'd be like, what the hell's this? So, but no, they're pastries wrapped in little sausages or hot dogs. Then if you want to get fancy, before you wrap your little hot dogs or wieners in them, you can put cheese on it. Then wrap it, then bake it. Ooh.
Oh.
Look at Russ.
What's a wiener?
A hot dog. Oh, you don't know what a wiener is? You never heard of a wiener?
I was told that was something very rude.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, but that's
Roger,
what I didn't know. That
Lala. He don't know what the hell a wiener is. Yeah. Some people boil their wieners, some people grill their wieners, some people microwave their wieners. Oh, you're killing me.
I was told once by somebody that told me, shove the wiener up your bum. Very rude. I didn't even know that's what it meant. It must be a different wiener.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Oh, poor Russ. You lived a sheltered life.
I thought it was very rude, to be quite honest. I fancy
Oh,
saying
I can't
something
wait
like
for
that.
this to be uploaded on the
Cool.
audio platforms. That's going to be a hoot. You're something else. Don't even start that, Lala. Oh my God. Don't even start that. We had that on one show in the UK or in Australia, and they had no idea what that was. Oh my Lord. I don't even want to know if Russ knows what that is. Look
The
at
trunk
Russ.
shrimp.
Yes. Ladies and
The trunk
gentlemen,
shrimp.
when we did the show about the cars with no drivers picking them up, and I had to put that in the commercial. Russ was like, "Oh, I know, Brian. We need a tow truck now." You know, in America, they got the Wienermobile. Brian says it's actually somebody drives
Something
it
tells
around.
me that is something very rude.
Anyway, oh my God, y'all crack me up. Oh my God, I know, no, isn't this the truth? Poor Russ. Oh,
What
look
did I
at Fifth
say?
Light. Yeah, they got an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, Science Bob says. He's being serious. It's a big wiener. You got to pass
It's
a
a big
driving
wiener.
test. Yeah, and you got to pass the driving test to drive it. Poor Russ is going to have nightmares, ladies and gentlemen.
What did that put?
I can't see and
And it's only
breathe.
$1.99 for a big wiener. I think. Is that right?
No, that's a super thanks. Oh my
It must be a
gosh.
big wiener then for $1.99.
You're killing me.
Pardon? A super
I'm
wiener.
about to die. But you can buy them in packs. They come in packs of 8. The hot dogs do. They're wieners. The one brand is Oscar Mayer Wiener.
All right.
Oh my God. I know, Rita. Poor Russ. I mean, oh my God. Ah, this is
It
terrible.
wasn't me that did it. It was the wiener.
Oh my Lord. I know Russ is just wondering. He is, Brian. Oh my God. You're something else, man. You are. You're something else. There you go. Brian sent you the Oscar Myers, changing the name to the
No, I think somebody's
Wienermobile.
been having me on because I was
No,
told the
they're
wiener
telling
was
you the
something
truth.
totally different.
No, we're telling you the truth. We're being serious. We're being serious. We buy them in grocery stores.
All right.
I'm not pulling your legs. What is it? I can't even do the Spock thing. But Scouts honor is it Scouts and wait a minute. What's the Scouts honor? That's the piece. I can't remember what the Scouts honor is now. Oh my God. Tammy Johnson, you're something. Russ is still in disbelief. He thinks we're pulling his legs, ladies and gentlemen. 3 fingers. That's right. So he laughed. Anyways, we're being serious. Bob actually put a link up there. Oh, what are you doing? Get mad? He left his own show. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't, man, this poor guy. He's probably gonna never have me back on his show again. Did he get mad, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, what happened? I can't help from laughing. His facial expressions kills me because he doesn't believe us. He just left me in the show. He got hungry and left. Oh man. Russ. Oh man, he did. He left. I wonder if he's coming back. I don't have controls to leave the show either, but anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I can't help it. It must be tea time. Jim, tea and biscuits. I know Russ is so serious. He really, I mean, yes, I know. We got to, I mean, I think he really thinks we're making fun of him. I know, old bear. Russ has left the. Here he comes. We thought you got mad and left. We did. We thought you got mad and left. Can you hear me?
No, I'm looking for a wiener.
Type in hot dog.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
No, I was just looking for a wiener.
Yeah. Man, you know what? If I wouldn't get banned on one of our platforms, I would sing the Oscar Mayer Wiener song to him. They got
I think
Oscar
somebody
Mayer.
just messaged me that. That's what I went off for.
Oh, is that what it was? We thought you got mad and left.
Yeah, somebody was singing about a wiener.
Yes.
No, somebody was singing something. On my mobile came on, this went off, and it was a song about. Oh, how rude are you? Go away.
Oh, Lord. You all cracking me up, ladies and gentlemen.
You couldn't play that on air.
Well, you got the wrong wiener song. That we're not talking about silver bells on the string, the little snapper turtle snapping at my feet. So, but anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. My side hurts now, so. But yes, that was funnier than hell. I think he froze up again. Are you with me?
I'm always with you.
All right, thank goodness. Yeah, my ding-a-ling song, Brian. That's right. that was by Chuck Berry. Now it's Silver Bells on a string. So, and that's not talking about a private part either. So,
and did he have a wiener too?
It was my ding-a-ling song, the Silver Bells on a String. So you are in the ditch. So I'm my screen. Yeah, I can. Did you ever find a hot dog?
I've heard of that song.
Okay, you heard of that song.
I've got the record.
Oh, so you got the. All right, so let's see here. Let me hit one button real quick. Then we can. He faded out again. Anyways, poor Russ. That was funny. Y'all cracked me up. Y'all had my sides hurting and everything on that one. I'm telling you, that was hilarious. Yeah, that was hilarious. So let's see if he comes back. We'll wrap up the show and call it a day here. I ain't gonna sing it because it's a funny song. But yeah. But I had to, during that one commercial, that trailer, I had to put Russ's face on there. All right, Russ. He's coming through slowly but surely. What's going on? Yeah, they do keep zapping him. They say he said he had good weather over there, so. Oh, Russ, so where you be? See, I thought in UK, I didn't think they. I thought UK that their Wi-Fi was like wide open, not like America. Well, thank you, Liz. The end part was a ride. I mean, to see Russ's expression, so that was priceless. So that was priceless. That's for sure. I don't know if he's ever going to come back or not. He's just timing out on us. They have 6-inch wieners and 12-inch wieners too. Yes, that is correct. They do have 6-inch and 12-inch. Yes. I'm glad somebody said that. They do. Let's give Russ some music here to see if he can come back in. Maybe that'll help him out a little bit. Give him a little bit of music there. Russ, we got faith in you. I wonder if he did get zapped. I wonder if he's going to try to. But he did. To see his facial expressions about the wiener and other stuff. I know, Eric, right? Come back, Russ. Russ. Hey, you. Out in the hallway. Can you hear me? So I can see Russ fuming right now as he can't get back on. It's frustrating when this stuff happens, ladies and gentlemen, especially during a show. So, but yeah. Give Russ a couple more seconds here. If he doesn't come back, we'll see if I can. I don't know how to end the show, but I'll see if I can get on my end. So we're gonna have somebody with the Dog Man and something else next show. And Tuesday, don't forget we got another lineup with Lala. Tuesday, Enchanting Insights with Lala. She's got another lineup at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I want to throw that out there while we're waiting for Russ. So I just got done working on the promo on that one. So that's going to be an interesting lineup. Yeah, and Russ did go down the rabbit hole, Rita. Absolutely. So I think he's stuck in purgatory. Ah, all right. So he's rebooting. So now I've got, Lala's got a heck of a lineup, ladies and gentlemen. She is like hitting some grand slams. And Bob, Science Bob is, don't forget Science Bob, pick out a code case for our Friday show coming up. Just a friendly reminder, I'll send you a message too after the show, after I get done eating my hamburger helper. So, yes. I can't believe you never heard of Hamburger Helper. That was awesome. So, but yeah, so let's see if he pops right back in now. So then Monday we got Angela Ford and Science Bob and Lala did send you Angela Ford's contact info. I haven't checked my messages. Okay, good, Science Bob. Hi Dan, welcome to the show, Dan. How you doing? You gotta go back and replay. We stumped Russ about hot dogs and Hamburger Helper. So, over deliver with people with Bob Lazar's show. Yeah, actually, Brian, that was interesting. While we're waiting for Russ to come back, I saw Bob Lazar when he was being pounced on and denounced that he was crazy and a wannabe and everything else. Russ, are you with us? We thought you went to the store and got you a wiener. Can you hear me?
No. The shops are closed.
Oh, are they? See, yeah. But we're ready for next week's show, and it's been a great show, Russ. We're all excited. So
yeah, well, I'll try to get a couple of guests because I know that they've got some amazing stories, testimonies, even of what's happened, to them. So it should be good. But anyway, thanks again for another great show, Grizzly. It's been fantastic.
it has been.
Sorry about
it.
Keep on cutting out on my view.
That happens. No big deal. Uh-oh, did we lose him again?
As you can see, it's done it again.
H3 is abundant on the moon. I did not know that H3 is abundant on the moon. Is that why everybody's going to the moon? That is weird. So that's strange. I meant to ask Science Bob about that. What he thought about T. Allen Greenfield, Travis Short, and Virginia Vineyard coming on this Tuesday. Yeah. Science Bob, before he hits the end button on the show, nuclear fuel. Really? So, well, he's clicking on comments. All right. Welcome back.
Hi. Hi, Grizzly. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for another great show. And see you Monday.
Yeah, I'll see you Monday. I'll get the link right out to you, boss.
I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. Bad news.
Yeah, I was just asking Science Bob why everybody was running to the moon. They didn't know if he knew, if anything, why everybody was such in a race to go. Since he's trying to end the show, because earlier Russ made the announcement that Australia is going to the moon now too. So I don't understand why everybody's such in a rush to go. What is up there? So I don't know. He's really must be having some serious issue. The South Pole of the moon, they're saying supposedly has some type of water. I looked into this the other day. Really? That's interesting. H3 reduced gravity, better launching point and straight from Earth. Yeah. They got to be a really good reason why there's such a mad rush. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So H3, the South Lunar Pole, fifth light bandit. Maybe we can find out some more information. It seems like it's just not being forthcoming. That's my thing, is that they're just not being forthcoming with information. That's so it's just like everybody just wants to go and everybody's going helium-3. So is it like something they can just like suck it up like a vacuum or something and transport it? So I have to look into that. See, this is where Science Bob comes into play. So all right, here he comes back. That's what my thought is. They know something is coming and rush to the moon for launch point to evacuate. H3 is constantly emitted from the sun, but never makes the Earth due to our atmosphere. Oh, I see. Fifth light bandit. That's all I can find. I'm just using an iPhone. I don't have a computer. Some search engines are limited. I see. No, I'm the same way. Wasn't really too good in science. So know some science, but Russ, are you there? Give him a little bit of music here. Bring him back in, ladies and gentlemen. Give him some enthusiastic music here. But mining on the moon, trillions of dollars in mining. So that's what. So we actually, Law said that on one of our shows. I don't remember which one. That there's got to be a mineral or something on there that somebody or everybody wants, and it's like it reminds me of the race towards the West in America, where everybody goes to the West to stake their claim for property, right? Is everybody's going to the moon to stake their territory on the moon, that this is America territory, this is Russia, this is, I guess, India. I don't know if India actually landed, just the footage everybody's claiming is saying is real. They're trying to debunk it, but yeah, nothing's 100% fifth light. So, but they had movies and sci-fi movies back in 20, 30 years ago about mining on the moon. So here comes Low Rider Russ. Give him a little bit of other music. Yeah, Russ, welcome back to your own show. Hopefully you can hit the button to end us now. Thank you, Liz.
Hi, Chris. Okay, yeah. Thanks for a great show, Chris.
Thank you.
Grizzly.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers, mate.
All right, bye, you all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.